I've made a visual for those interested to explain my position. So most people believe this. They believe that sound waves are interpreted by a sense organ to give raw data, which is then processed in the mind along with associations, cultures, perspectives, values, etc., to give an experience. And of course, they believe this experience is subjective because, this thing is jumbling up this experience. If that's what you believe. What I believe is that sound hits the ear and we have a correlative experience of qualia before any of this other shit. Before the mind, before anything else happens, you can have raw sensuous experience. And this objectively exists in reality the same way that red exists, the identity of red. Now, it's that objective sensuous experience which then gets filtered into the brain and the metaphysical mind, which then gives us some delusion, some hallucination, but something that people would colloquially call experience. I don't believe in this experience in the way that people believe in experience. I would just rather call this a hallucination, a delusion, because it's not this thing. Now, to explain why this identity is objective, let's talk about the color red. So this is a red light bulb being processed by an observer. This metaphysical experience of red is uncaused. It arises when the light turns on, and it disappears when the light turns off, but the identity of red, why is red red, is uncaused. Before any interpretation happens, before anything else happens, before it hits the brain and the mind and all that other shit, there's a raw, sensuous experience of red in the same way that there's a raw, sensuous experience of music, which is objective. And this objective qualia is what gives the structure to these associations. These associations I was talking about in genres and stuff are not what give the structure to music and art. That structure inherently exists, and we use our associations to understand and transform it into something else. Now, the reason I even talk about this in the first place, and I was even annoyed about it in my first video, is because people can be really uncritical when it comes to the subjectivity of art. It's okay if you like Playboi Carti, but you cannot argue that the qualia of Playboi Carti is the same as the qualia of jazz. And so, even if Playboi Carti's qualia is giving you this experience of happiness, and in the way that jazz is giving me this experience of happiness, the context that exists in this transformation is not one-to-one. So it's not doing for you what it's doing for me, even if we have the same end product and outcome. Because this overall feeling is dependent on a totally different set of contexts. I mean, this becomes super obvious when you just think about the happiness that a serial killer has from killing somebody being the same as the happiness that somebody has from helping somebody out. It is not the same thing at all. It is totally separate and different. It does not matter that the outcomes are similar because those outcomes are dependent on the structure of the mind. Anyways, sorry that I lied, and this actually probably won't be my last video because honestly, this subject is becoming more and more interesting because I actually have to explain myself. And I'm understanding better why people don't believe what I believe, which is okay because I'm, super deep into fucking Vajrayana Buddhism and spirituality and shit. I realize now that my perspective is not what most people hold.